Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who still rule and teach well. Peace and blessings and safety unto the Lord's elect, scattered throughout the four corners of the planet Earth, mainly in America, who are pushing His word in humility and sincerity as commanded by Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And just do a quick hit video, Lord willing, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, going into the subject of 3 videos a week, which really you should be able to do a video every day. But I want to touch on is this decree that the apostles put out, this standard that the apostles put out, if you will, is it biblical? Because you had one of these clowns say that you can't show me the scripture where Apostle Paul said write 3 epistles a week, or some sensationalism BS that these guys are trying to pull because they want to be rebellious and they want to put that rebellious spirit on you, and they want to call good evil and evil good. Okay, because what's the issue with the apostles provoking us unto good works, which is actually biblical, to do 3 videos a week or a video a day? What in that is not biblical? Yahweh Shah said, blessed is the man whom he shall find doing, not taking days off, not doing it once a week or twice a week on Saturday and then 1 video throughout the week, but blessed is the man that he shall find so doing. Okay, Yahweh Shah said, let a man take up his cross daily and follow me. See, you guys, you're not spiritual, and if you want the scriptures to say thou must do 3 videos a week, of course it's not going to say that. The scriptures also don't say that America is Babylon the Great. It doesn't say that verbatim. So by you making a statement like that, that just lets me know, what type of level you're on. Okay, we're going to get into the precepts to show you, because we're a nation of kings and priests, okay? And the priests, they offered up their sacrifices daily. 24/7, there was a sacrifice on the altar. Okay? And the scriptures say that we present our bodies a living sacrifice. It's so many precepts. Yahweh Shah told us to feed his lambs and to feed his sheep. Now you go a couple days without feeding a live sheep. Here it is. This sheep is a livestock. You go a couple days without feeding your sheep. How many of them sheep you think gonna survive? And how many you think are gonna be malnourished and sick? Some caretaker you are. But we know you guys, you don't care about the sheep. It's all about you and what you got going on, and your job and your career. And brother, I got this going on. And brother, I got child support. And brother, I'm not retired. Who the hell said you had to be retired in order to preach the word? And brother, I don't got a pension. I'm not rich. I ain't got the time to do that. So you mean to tell me, man, I'm not even gonna get into that conversation. The point of this video is we're supposed to do this daily. If you're a man of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, you're going to do this daily. Numbers, the 11th chapter, it said the spirit that was on Moses rested upon the elders, and they prophesied, and they did not cease. So if the spirit of the Lord is on you, it's going to provoke you to teach daily. Yahweh Shai taught daily in the temple. Apostle Paul taught daily. The men of the Lord taught daily. This is Psalm 61, verse 8. So I will sing praise unto thy name forever, that I may daily perform my vows. When you came into this truth, you made a vow to the Lord that you was going to serve him until the end. You counted the cost. That's a part of that vow. And now you have to perform. You made a promise to the Lord that you was going to teach this word. You put your hand to the plow. Any husbandman, if he take a day or 2 off from his garden or from his field, the crops are going to suffer. You have to tend to it daily. You can't go one day without going out there and at least looking at everything, seeing how it is, pruning some of the branches, tilling the ground, watering the ground. Might have to throw some cinnamon on the ground to keep the insects away. Whatever. You have to tend to these things daily. These analogies that the Lord used, these are daily occupations. And so we must perform our vows daily. Hebrews chapter 3, verse 12. Take heed, brethren, lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief in departing from the living God. But exhort one another daily, while it is called today. Right? It said, do the work while it is called today, for the night cometh when no man can work. See, there's going to come a day where we're not going to be able to do these videos. We're not going to be able to post these lessons and to feed the lambs of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because there will be a famine of the word. But you guys, leave it up to these individuals, the shepherds of madness. Leave it up to them. The famine of the word would already be here, because they barely teach. The leader of ISUPK, he hasn't been on the highways and byways in over a decade. Bishop Nathaniel hasn't been on the highways and byways in years. And these groups, they post a video once, maybe twice a week. Leave it to these other groups, the sheep wouldn't even be fed daily. But over here at Great Millstone, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, your cup runneth over. You don't have to worry about waking up and, man, is my favorite group. Because that's what it's about with a lot of individuals, is who they like the most. Not about the truth. But you don't have to worry about, is the elders and apostles going to post a video today? Am I going to get fed today? Am I going to get a lesson today? No, you're going to get thousands of lessons every day. It says in Hebrews 3 and 13, but exhort one another daily while it is called today, lest any of you be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin. See? So we're supposed to exhort each other daily with these videos. That's what this is. These are exhortations. These are edifications. Well, even the word edification, the word edify means to build up. When Esau has a project on these construction sites, they're working daily. They don't care about the weather. If it's snowing, they still gonna be out there building. If it's raining, they still gonna be out there building. If it's 90 degrees, they still gonna be out there building. They just gonna bring their water. So there's no excuse to not do this thing daily, or at least, like the apostle said, 3 videos a week. And now, like I said, that was a provocation unto good works. Let me get that real quick. Hebrews 10, verse 24. And let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works. You see? It tells you in Malachi chapter 3. In verse 16, it says, and then they that feared Yahweh spake often one to another. How are we speaking often one to another? Because we're speaking daily through these videos. And then one brother posts a video and you like his video and the spirit hits you to do a lamb back off of his video, or to do a response off of his video. It says, then they that feared Yahweh spake often one to another. Even when we're rebuking these individuals, we're speaking to them. And they may buck up and harden their neck and do a response video to our rebuke. We're still speaking often one to another through these videos, and the elect are being edified, not deceived. And this is the year of agents, apostasy, and sellouts. A lot of you guys have agent behaviors, or agent spirits, I should say. But it's all going to be made manifest. And so you're not going to deceive the elect. You pushing slothfulness. You pushing sluggardness. And try to make it seem like we're men pleasers. We're over righteous. But yet you could go to Esau job every day, right? Right? You could pay your child support you nigga kept bringing up child. You could pay your child support every day, right? You go to the bank. You go to the grocery store. You go to the dollar store. You go to the gym. You could do that every day, right? But you ain't got 15 minutes to feed the lambs of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, to feed his sheep. Then that means you don't love Yahweh. It says, then they that fear Yahweh, you gotta have to fear the Lord, man. You individuals, you don't fear the Lord. For you to have this knowledge and to keep it in a napkin, even for one day, you should feel some type of way. You should say, man, damn. In the back of your mind, I ain't did a video in over 24 hours. What's my next topic? When is the Spirit gonna hit me so I can bring out some precepts, so I can speak on the Lord? Don't you feel alive when you're doing this? I feel alive right now. Then they that feared Yahweh spake often one to another, and Yahweh hearkened and heard it. And a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared Yahweh and thought upon his name. You see? So we're coming straight out the book of remembrance. And we're giving you the precepts to show you that everything we're doing is justified. That's what you individuals don't understand. The scriptures say, mark the perfect man, for the end of that man is peace. You clowns talking about, I follow the apostles of Great Millstone, but yet you on video trying to rebuke the apostles of Great Millstone. Trying to say that the apostles of Great Millstone is tripping. And we bugged out. Because, brother, I'm not doing 3 videos a day. Brother, I'm not doing this. Brother, I got this going on and I got that going on. Okay, well, that's why you at where you at. And that's why we are where we are. Hebrews 6 and 9, but beloved, we are persuaded better things of you, and things that accompany salvation, though we thus speak. Yeah, we're going to bring out things that accompany salvation, not things that accompany prospering in this man's society. Verse 10, for the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which ye have shewed toward his name, and that ye have ministered to the saints, and do minister. And we desire that every one of you do shew the same diligence to the full assurance of hope unto the end, and that ye be not slothful, but followers of them who through faith and patience inherit the promise. So we have the apostles as our example. They're teaching daily, and we're supposed to show the same diligence. Again, when you're diligent, that means that you're working at it daily, vigorously. There's not a day that go by where you ain't thinking about the Lord or thinking about doing a video. And a lot of times, what you pretenders do is you claim you do the work off camera, whatever that means, right? Whatever that means. Oh, brother, when I go to Five Below, or when I'm at Aldi's, I'm telling the cashier. You guys, man, you're proud. Let me get this precept. Find doing. The Lord might not find you guys doing. Luke 12 and 43. Let me start at 41. Then Peter said, Lord, speakest thou this parable unto us, or even to all? And the Lord said, who then is that faithful and wise steward, whom the Lord shall make him ruler over his household, to give them their portion of meat in due season? Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. So what's the greatest possibility that the Lord will find you doing? If you're doing this work daily, or if you're doing it whenever you feel like it, whenever the job is not jobbing and life ain't lifing. If you're just doing it, like I said, like this is the secondary priority. The first priority, brother, is everything that I got going on in this world. The scriptures say to be not entangled with the cares and affairs of this life. It said that the cares of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and it becometh unfruitful. That's what it sounds like is taking place with you individuals and anybody that have your mindset. It says, now, and I don't even have to get into the precepts about tradition, because of course the scriptures speak about not following. Why do you transgress the commandment of the Most High by your tradition? This tradition does not transgress the commandment of the Lord. This tradition of 3 videos a week or a video a day, of diligence, of putting your hand to the plow, not taking it off, not taking 4 weeks off, this tradition does not transgress the commandment of the Most High. So don't say, oh, you following the traditions of men. You clowns. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 15. Therefore, brethren, stand fast, and hold the traditions which ye have been taught, whether by word or our epistle. You see that? And we know that the apostles are the prophets coming back into regeneration. You guys claim to believe that, but your actions show otherwise. It says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. So you can say one thing all you want, but we know you guys are false brethren. We know you guys are a part of that congregation that followed Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. Remember, there were 250 other men, I believe, that followed Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. So it wasn't just Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. It's a bunch of you little nigglets out here who got that rebellious spirit, who don't want to stay up under the order that Yahweh Shema Shah set up. And so much of this truth is order. Second Thessalonians 3 verse 6. Now we command you, brethren, in the name of our Lord Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, that ye will draw yourselves from every brother that walketh disorderly, and not after the tradition which he received of us. So you guys want to do your own thing. You want to do videos whenever you feel like it. You want to do videos once a week on camp day. That's fine, but don't try to influence the sheep and tell them that, oh, you don't have to follow the standard because that's not Yahweh Shai's standard. Well, didn't Yahweh Shai set these men up? You don't think you had individuals during the time of Apostle Paul that was telling him that ain't what the Lord said? But they're reading Apostle Paul's letters and they're saying, well, you're not the Lord, you're not Yahweh. You don't think that was going on? You guys are in that same spirit. But the scriptures say to follow the traditions that we have received, as long as they don't transgress the commandment of God, which it doesn't, whether by our word or by our epistle. And it is our word, and these are video epistles. 2 Peter 1 verse 10, wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if you do these things, ye shall never fall. So we're supposed to be giving diligence. Diligence. Let me go to this word diligence. 2 Peter 1 verse 10 in the Greek. I don't know how you could look at a word like diligence and say, I'm going to do this whenever life ain't lifing. 2 Peter 1. Let me go to diligence. Ooh, spudazo.
Strong's G 4704. Spudazo.
Spudazo, which means to make haste, to exert oneself, endeavor, give diligence. That's what you're supposed to be doing. And you're supposed to be doing it daily. Luke 9 verse 23. And he said to them all, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. You got to deny yourself. You got to deny yourself when all the stuff that you got going on in your life to serve the Lord, to put the Lord first. You have to put the Lord first. That's what this decree, that's what this provocation of good works, that's what it does. It provokes you to put the Lord first in your life, to constantly meditate on the scriptures. It said that thou shalt meditate day and night, and therein thou shalt have good success. Not be meditating on this test that you got to take to get the promotion from the job that's about to tank, from the business that's about to go under, for the money that's about to turn into a chip. You guys, your thought process is all the way off. Let's look at this word daily, because maybe daily means once a week or once a month.
Strong's G 2250. Hemera.
The day used of the natural day, or the interval between sunrise and sunset, as distinguished from and contrasted with the night. So it's talking about the day, daily, every day. This is the whole 24 hours, the space between dawn and dark. Proverbs 22, verse 29. Seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before mean men. That's the ones that the Lord is looking for. That's the ones who are going to stand before kings. Those are the ones that are of the elect. Because we're given this diligence to make our calling and our election sure. How do you know your election is going to be sure? Because you've been giving diligence. You've been doing this thing daily. You've been taking up your cross daily. Yahushua taught daily. It says he shall stand before kings. That's Sirach, the 38th chapter. It talks about how you guys that are so invested in making the city function and holding these occupations that make the city function, you're gonna keep the state of the world going, but you will not stand before kings. You will not be in the judgment seat. You will not be seeing where dark parables are, because your whole being is given to your occupation. Luke 19:47, and he taught daily in the temple, but the chief priests and the scribes and the chief of the people sought to destroy him. Luke 22:53, red letter, when I was daily with you in the temple, ye stretched no hands against me. But this is your hour and the power of darkness. Acts 2, verse 46, and they continuing daily with one accord in the temple and breaking bread from house to house, did eat their meat with gladness and singleness of heart. Acts 5:42, and daily in the temple and in every house they cease not to teach and to preach Yahushua HaMashiach. And I'm going to close with that one and give all praise, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushua Bahashem, Rachak Wadash, for giving me the spirit to do this lesson. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who still rule and teach well. Kum Yasharala. Shalom.